The big news is that McLaren are now world champions once again, back to back. I don't even know the last time that they won back to back constructors championships off the top of my head, but it's certainly been a while. But yeah, back to back world champions, and it's just crazy to think about that considering the form that McLaren have had for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, given if wind the clock back a few years, and that would have been really bad. I remember when they were, finishing last in the constructors. I can't remember when, but it was relatively recently. And if you told someone in maybe, okay, 2017 is probably long enough ago that you would think that gradually they'd get back to it, but that's still 8 years ago. And the car was awful, and Zach Brown's done a really good job in at least the sort of, I would say, 11 years since they went away from Mercedes power units. They were fourth in 2014, and then obviously they moved to Honda. And and then I mean they had no sponsors at that point. They had no sponsors in 2014. This is a long project to get back to the point where you could call McLaren a premier Formula One team, like that's worth caring about. And obviously they've been that for quite a while. But now with these on back to back constructors championship wins, which most importantly, that's where the money is. The wins are nice for the drivers, but if you're an engineer and you want your bonuses, then doing this an unprecedented point in the season early, with 6 races still to complete, that's obviously great for their team, for their engineers. It keeps everyone motivated, and obviously the team, everything's come back towards them, or the teams have moved towards them with them turning off the development of the car. But at this point, they don't even have to care. Apart from crash damage, everything can go wrong, and it doesn't, kind of doesn't matter. Obviously, you'd want to win every race, but they can fight as hard as they want to. They're become a bit of a wild card, and they can put, if they want, all of their car development effort into next year, which is obviously the benefit of being such a dominant team at this point, just before the regulation change.
Yeah, and I'm fairly certain like they've put the development of 2025 on the back burner since about Imola this year, if I'm remembering correctly, because I don't think McLaren have really brought a lot of upgrades to the races this season after that point at the very least, because it was just so visibly obvious how dominant they were. And, fair play to them for creating a car that has had such power. And I think it's just, you just got to look at the constructor standings of McLaren, 650 points, Mercedes in second place with 325 points. That's double the amount of points of your next competitor. Like, that's Max Verstappen drivers' championship levels of points gaps in terms of, the last couple of years. But yeah, just absolute domination from McLaren. And as you say, this has been a long project for them. It's staggering the turnaround that they've had, I think, is probably the word to say.